Hello and welcome to the Andes Pacifico. This is the winner's bike, Pedro Burns Trek Slash. So this Trek Slash uses 29-inch wheels front and back. It's a 170mm fork paired to 160mm of rear travel. Pedro, like me, is 183 centimeters tall, which I consider to be the best height. Pedro weighs 73 kilograms, and this bike uses Trek's ABP braking system, although unlike previous generations, it doesn't have a floating lower pivot. Now, it doesn't say it anywhere on the frame, but assuming, because it's a Trek factory racing bike, it will be using Trek's super high-grade OCLV carbon. For the wheels, Pedro is running Bonte's Line Downhill 30s, which are paired to some of Bonte's own tyres, the team-issue G5s. He's running 21 PSI on the front and 24 PSI on the back, and that's both with Cush core for the added protection that you need when you're competing in these high mountain enduros. On the front end of the bike is a Lyrik Ultimate, which is being ran at 95 PSI with 3 tokens, so pretty firm. The shock is being ran at 223 PSI, and similarly with the fork, it's not a stock damper tune. Still some experimentation going on there of refining what is already a very high-end setup. For stopping power, Pedro is running the Code RSC front and back, but interestingly enough, he has got them paired to some absolutely whopping 220mm rotors. This is to aid with heat dissipation on those long enduro stages. You can see around the caliper the hodgepodge of adapters that are needed because it's not really a stock setup. He's also running the sintered pads. For his cockpit, he's running some SRAM Descendant bars in a 35mm clamp, and they are cut to 770. He's got some AG1 grips from ODI, and it's a very clean cockpit thanks to that SRAM wireless setup. He's also got that wireless seat post, which looks to be about 150mm drop. And interestingly enough, the saddle itself is from the road range, but it seems really, really popular. You're seeing that with some other riders going for the power saddle from Specialized, and maybe it's just the way it's going to go. So looking at the frame, and there's some really interesting additions, and security definitely seems to be a theme. First up is some tape around this Garmin, which is actually on a very, very neat mount, just tucked behind the stem there, just for added security. Secondly, you might have noticed a bit of tape there. On one of the race stages, Pedro was riding and a huge boulder came up and just snapped that tab clean off. So a really unlucky thing to happen, but he made do with a bit of tape, and it looks like he carries this wrapped around his seat post just to get him out of such eventualities. Another thing that's cool to look out for on this bike is all the added security from the rocks. So things like that just stop small little, pebbles really getting behind that stay and potentially damaging the bike. Similarly, on the front end, he's choosing to run a mudguard just for the added protection. On the down tube, there is so much protection going on, which is probably a very good thing, bearing in mind they do a lot of the uplifts around here on the back of pickups. And speaking of security, where would any enduro racer be without their trusted multi-tool? Pedro's got a 1-up EDC in that fork steerer, which we may or may not have used to secure our tripod 5 seconds ago. For the drivetrain, well, just look at it. It is, of course, the SRAM Wireless AXS Eagle, and it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Interestingly enough, he's running a power meter, which we're seeing more and more prevalent in the pro field. I wonder how long it will be before they become, like in road biking, prevalent for your amateurs too. Only time will tell. But it is a fantastic, clean-looking drivetrain, and that's for sure. Also, there is plenty of silencing all over the bike and a chain guard top and bottom from MRP, so not taking any chances. Another nice little addition is just running some rubber mastic tape there to stop any rub on this fantastic paint job. So there is one hell of a Trek Slash. What do you think? What do you think of the paint job? Now, if you like watching our channel, be sure to follow us, well, wherever you enjoy us, be on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, and get in the comments below. What do you think? Thanks, guys.